Well, it's only been 2.5 years, and you're right. I haven't gotten in an argument.
Notice how my husband was oddly quiet during this segment. His ass knew that he could not say that after almost 8 years married, we absolutely argue.
When the Kelce-Swift universe gets loud, it really gets loud. First up, Kylie Kelce is calling out the fairy tale, reacting to Travis claiming he and Taylor never argue, and her take is far more grounded in reality.
You're telling me you don't bicker or argue? Or maybe you do bicker, but you don't argue. I'm very confused about this.
And then, the debate spirals into whether Taylor is somehow responsible for the Chiefs' rough stretch, because the internet loves an easy villain. Next, Taylor's globe-trotting bachelorette plans leak, and suddenly it looks like she's hosting a pre-wedding world tour. After that, she fires back at critics who want her to go away, making it clear she's not stepping aside for anyone.
There are also corners that are like, give someone else a turn. I'm like, I don't want to.
Then, Reid's support becomes a stabilizing force for Travis.
All the community work that he does, is tremendous, helping people out. He's always got time for everybody.
Finally, chaos erupts as people accuse Taylor of stealing another bride's wedding date. Another day, another Kelce-family moment that proves these people should honestly start charging us admission. So, Travis Kelce casually drops on his podcast that he and Taylor have never had an argument. Not a single one. Zero. Nada. The internet immediately lost its collective mind because, come on, even fairytale couples bicker about who finished the last iced coffee.
Well, it's only been 2.5 years, and you're right. I haven't gotten in an argument.
Naturally, fans turn to the real MVP of Kelce honesty, Kylie Kelce, and she did not disappoint. On her podcast, she basically rolled her eyes, lovingly, of course, and admitted that in her own house, arguments definitely happen. Not WWE-style yelling matches, but the normal "why is this child still awake" kind of stuff that sneaks into any marriage after nearly 8 years and 4 kids. And honestly, anyone who's ever been near a toddler knows exactly what she's talking about.
I just think that if you're married, you live together, specifically if you have children who might have like varying degrees of patience with certain situations with your kids, I think it gets like you're potentially having some sleepless nights.
She even pointed out that Jason sat suspiciously quiet while Travis was on his "we never fight" victory lap. According to Kylie, he knew better than to pretend their marriage runs on unicorn dust and serene whispers. She wasn't dragging him, just keeping things real.
Notice how my husband was oddly quiet during this segment. His ass knew that he could not say that after almost 8 years married, we absolutely argue.
Plus, she explained she's not a yeller anyway, so when disagreements pop up, it's more like passive-aggressive dish stacking than full-blown warfare.
To be fair, I'm not a yelling arguer, so the arguments in our house they're not a yelling situation.
And speaking of people getting blamed for things that aren't actually their fault, now we slide straight into the chaotic circus asking the question, is Taylor Swift secretly tanking the Kansas City Chiefs? Because apparently when a team stumbles, logic goes out the window and the internet dusts off its favorite pastime, blaming the nearest woman. The Chiefs drop a 2010 game after a brutal Kelce mistake, and instantly a crew of fans leaps onto social media like they've uncovered the Da Vinci Code. Suddenly, Taylor isn't just singing about heartbreak. She's the official destroyer of dynasties, the NFL's own curse, and somehow responsible for a playoff probability chart that looks like a sad ski slope. Blaming a pop star for an NFL collapse is basically a seasonal tradition at this point. Kansas City's playoff chances have dipped to a grim 15%, and instead of talking bad routes or sloppy execution, folks are acting like Taylor cast an ancient spell over Arrowhead. Polls are popping up, asking whether the Chiefs' era is over or whether Taylor personally detonated it with a hair flip. The accuracy? Debatable. The drama? Off the charts. Even some former pros are jumping onto the mess with the kind of hot takes that sound like they were drafted on 3 hours of sleep and zero fact-checking. One ex-NBA champ threw out a wild theory about Kelce being done because of who he's dating, while another insisted Kelce has somehow been downgraded to Taylor Swift's boyfriend, as if the man didn't spend a decade stiff-arming linebackers into oblivion. Kelce isn't even playing badly. 5 touchdowns, 700-plus yards, double-digit Pro Bowls. This isn't exactly washed territory. One dropped pass doesn't erase a decade of clutch plays, and plenty of fans are pushing back hard. reminding everyone that Kelce basically built half of Kansas City's highlight reel. Some even argue that if the fan base is going to turn on him this fast, he might as well hang up the cleats. And while everyone's busy blaming Taylor for everything from fumbles to the fall of civilization, she's planning bachelorette parties so extra they make royal weddings look like a backyard barbecue. Taylor and her bridesmaids aren't just throwing one bachelorette, they're basically launching a world tour of pre-wedding chaos. Apparently the plan is to roll out 3 or 4 full-on girls' weekends, each in a city with some sentimental sparkle. Think of it as the Eras Tour, but instead of stadiums and pyro, it's Aperol spritzes, coordinated outfits, and group chats that are probably 90% GIF reactions. Nashville's expected to be one of the first stops because, of course, the place where Taylor wrote half her emotional damage deserves its own bachelorette chapter. Then there's New York, which insiders say will be the glam pit stop, the kind of weekend where the group casually books private dinners and somehow ends up dancing on a rooftop at 2 a.m. like they're in a rom-com montage. Then things go international. Italy is supposedly on her list too, which means vineyard sunsets, pasta therapy, and at least one bridesmaid trying to flirt with a local who speaks zero English. And if that wasn't enough, the Bahamas are reportedly scheduled to round things out with tanning, cocktails, and Swift Squad pretending they're in a music video every time there's a breeze. The whole operation is apparently a group project on steroids. The bridesmaids and family members are constantly on calls, hashing out logistics like they're planning a global summit. Taylor's mom and Kelce's mom are even said to be syncing schedules and guest lists like 2 CEOs merging companies. Selena Gomez is reportedly bringing the creative flair, while Gigi Hadid is handling the practical stuff, which honestly makes perfect sense because one is vibes and the other is spreadsheets. Taylor's meanwhile hopping on late-night TV, reminding the world she's not disappearing just because a few people on the internet decided they're tired of her. During her chat with Colbert, she basically laughed off the crowd of critics who'd keep wishing she'd go away or give someone else a turn, as if she's standing at the front of a roller coaster line refusing to move. She talked about how much she admires people who keep going, keep evolving, keep showing up decade after decade, the Stevie Nicks types, the Max Martin legends, the Travis Kelce level of committed work ethic. Longevity is her thing, and she's not ashamed of it. In fact, she's thriving off it. She made it clear that some people celebrate longevity while others act like she should pack it up, fade into a mist, and let them reminisce about the old Taylor in peace. Taylor's response? A very polite version of absolutely not. She's not stepping aside, she's not vanishing, and she's definitely not dimming the lights just because a few corners of the internet want a quiet moment.
There are also corners that are like, give someone else a turn. Can't you just go away so we can talk about how good you were? I'm like, I don't want to.
And then came the fan panic cleanup mission. Apparently rumors had been swirling earlier this year that once she got married, she'd quit music entirely, settle down and leave the industry like she's retiring to a farm upstate. She addressed that too, and she found the whole idea downright offensive. Marriage isn't a career exit plan, and she's not hanging up her mic because she's preparing a wedding. And now we roll straight into the Andy Reid to the rescue portion of this saga, where Kansas City's human brisket enthusiast steps in like the calm dad who fixes everything while everyone else is spiraling. Because while fans are running doomsday simulations about Kelce's future, insiders say Reid is basically standing at the front of the Chiefs facility waving a giant "Everybody Relax" banner. The man has dealt with injuries, drama, wild plot twists, and more off-field chaos than a Real Housewives finale, so a little retirement gossip isn't exactly rattling him. If anything, he's doubling down on his support like it's a fourth-quarter two-point conversion. And then comes Kelce's Walter Payton Man of the Year club honor, the kind of award that reminds everyone he's not just catching passes, he's actually doing good. Sources say Reid lit up about it, bragging about Kelce's community work the way some dads brag about their kid learning long division. He loves that Kelce always makes time for kids, teammates, and basically anyone who needs a lift, and he's making sure the whole league hears about it.
How great is that? Yeah, well-deserved for a lot of reasons. All the community work that he does, is tremendous, helping people out. He's always got time for everybody, especially kids, and does a great job with his teammates and most of all the community. Yeah.
What really hits, though, is Reid backing Kelce even as the stats get weird and the chatter gets loud. One shaky game, one unlucky interception, one 8-yard afternoon, and suddenly people start whispering decline like it's Beetlejuice. But Reid? He's not playing that game. He keeps reminding everyone that Kelce is still a weapon, still a cornerstone, still the guy Mahomes trusts when it's third and uh-oh. And honestly, that matters. Reid's approval is like NFL gold. This is the coach who's mentored era-defining players, and when he stamps someone as valuable, the locker room pays attention. Younger guys see Kelce grinding through a messy season and still getting unwavering support, and it sets the tone. This is how you handle adversity, not with panic, but with relentless consistency. And that consistency is exactly what Kelce needs right now, because the internet is already sprinting towards its next meltdown, this time accusing Taylor of straight-up stealing somebody's wedding date like she's the Disney villain of bridal season. So here's the latest. Taylor just wanted a fancy Rhode Island wedding at a 5-star hotel, the kind of place where the napkins probably cost more than our rent. Cool, normal celebrity stuff. But then the internet got a hold of a rumor claiming she basically rolled up with a giant check and told another bride scoot. Suddenly people were acting like Taylor evicted a family of raccoons from their treehouse. It went viral in seconds, because of course it did, and folks were dragging her like she personally repossessed the woman's bouquet. The alleged date? June 13th. Naturally, the Swifties didn't even blink. 13 is her thing, so they just nodded like, yep, checks out. But the wild part was the story that she supposedly paid off the original bride to move her whole wedding. One massive, sparkly, gossip-filled maybe. Then came the plot twist. The venues team popped up, insisting this whole buyout narrative wasn't even possible under their policies, which only made the internet even messier. Half the commenters shouted, "See? Fake," while the other half yelled, "Cover up," like they were auditioning for a conspiracy podcast. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.